everybody, welcome to A Dad, a Son, and a Game. I am Luke, the son.
And I'm Joel, the dad. And today we're taking a look at Forbidden Desert. Forbidden Desert. Forbidden Desert, it's the third cooperative game by Matt Leacock. It is probably first cousin, I would say, to Forbidden Island, which you used to see up here somewhere. Now it's not there anymore. More on that later. Is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? I guess you'll find out. It's for ages 10 and up, recommended by the manufacturer. For 2 to 5 players, takes about 45 minutes to play. We got our copy for around 19 bucks. So pretty affordable game. But basically, before we get into our thoughts on it, you need to have some background on it.
I think you were holding... Oh, I guess not. I thought you were holding it up sideways.
Forbidden Desert. It's a good game for players to play. Anyway, yeah. We give it 3 beaver tails up. Anyway, how do you play this game? Well, let's find out now so you can get a better understanding of what we say in the future about what we think about it.
3 beaver tails up.
So Forbidden Desert, I'm going to go over this very, very quickly because it's not very complex. It comes with a modular board which have these tiles in there. And these tiles are going to shift. Kind of like one of those puzzles that you used to have done when you were a child maybe, where you try and sequence the numbers in the tile in the little frame and you'd slide them around, you know, like that. Well, this deck here is going to tell us how to slide these tiles around. So that's how we're basically going to add these sand tiles to the board. We're playing as people who have individual unique jobs that are predetermined on our roll cards. And here are the roles, some of the roles you get. There are more roles than I want to cover right now, but we have those roles, and then we also have an archaeologist and a climber, which is who I'm playing with right now. The climber can climb over impassable sand, which are the ones that are darker colored and have an X on them. The archaeologist can move a lot of sand very quickly. So the game plays where we can do basically this same thing over and over again, where we do 4 actions, flip some cards, have some sand appear, tiles shift around, and then there's different variants that can happen while we do that. So I'll show you an example of a turn here. It would be 1, 2, take the sand off, 3, go here, and then flip this tile over. Okay, and that shows where the mythical airship is docked at. So when I get parts, I go there to put them on the mythical airship. And that's the whole idea of this game, is that we're trying to excavate parts to salvage an airship so we can fly to safety because our helicopter crashed. So at any rate, that one is found then. And the way how you find parts is you keep excavating tiles like I've shown here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep flipping these tiles over. Oh, look, a gear. And that means I got to take a card from the gear deck. And so the top card would be this Dune Buster here, which the Dune Buster allows you to remove all the sand off of a tile. So at any rate, I keep doing this until I uncover these clues. So I already had these flipped over. This is the yellow clue. These 2 clues show me where the part's at. So this clue tells me the row it's in. It says, hey, it's in this row. And this one shows me which column it's in. You can see that by the arrows on the tile there. I think you can see the arrows on the tile that indicate up and down, side to side. So the yellow clues tell me the prop is on that square right there. So I get to the prop, I pick it up. I put this in front of me, go over here, and then I can put the prop onto the airship. All that's done in increments of 4 actions, and then flipping over cards, the amount of cards that it tells us to do. So here's an example of a card that would flip over. Oh, not that one. Here's one that would say shift up 1. So I shift up 1, put a sand on. And then another one would say shift over 1, and this already has sand, so I'd flip the sand over. And this one says shift these 2 tiles this way, so 1, 2. Now they're already with impassable sand, so what would I do? Well, I'd put another impassable sand on there to indicate that there's extra sand there. So I would take that one off entirely with 1, take that one off entirely with 1 action, and then 1, 2 to take these off. So it takes an action to flip this back over to that kind of sand and take it off. So it's very similar to how you shore up the island on Forbidden Desert, or how you remove our Forbidden Island, and how you remove viruses from cities in Pandemic, or how you put out fire in Flashpoint. So all these games are real heavily related. You'll find very similar elements in this game. So that's this game in about 3 minutes. You're just exploring this desert, trying to find things, excavate them, reveal different mysteries that happen. As far as a full gameplay video goes, or something like that, this isn't going to do that. I'm just trying to get you an idea of the flavor of the game. Modular board that the tiles slide around in. You flip things over to find clues for where you get parts to build the airship and fly away. So as far as some of the other tricks that can come up, or you can have these two cards flip up as well. This is what makes it a little bit different than Forbidden Island 2, is that you have a canteen on your player card, that you have a water storage. If the sun beats down, your water goes down by 1. If the storm picks up, then on this little storm tracker we slide up our little clip, and eventually we're going to flip over more cards than 2 at a time. Eventually we'll flip 3, 4, 5, 6. But hopefully by the time that we get too far up there, we've built our ship, which this is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie, this is really fun actually to snap all these parts together. Pretty cool. You can fly away. So, yay. We win. I will say this, the components are really nice. The tiles are very similar, even a little glossier, maybe nicer than Forbidden Island. The cards are very similar to Forbidden Island. Same kind of wooden pawns as you get in Pandemic of Forbidden Island. And this ship is really good. This is a heavy metal engine. And these wheels and everything are just really cool. The propeller spins on there. So the component quality is really nice. But that's about it for as far as what I want to say about this game. Yeah, I hope you get a feel for it. I know this won't teach you how to play the game entirely, but the directions which come with it are really nice. Pretty easy to read. They explain the game very quickly. I think we had this from box to play in about 10 minutes. Our first time playing it. The only tricky part is just knowing how to shift the board around. That when you flip these cards, you shift things into the empty tiles. So this one says shift 2 this way, but I can only shift 1. But I still shift that 1, and then I add sand to it. So, I mean, that's the trickiest part. It's the only thing that's really much different than Forbidden Island or the other cooperative games you might have played. And then you also have to draw water out of these wells and keep your water level high, so the sun doesn't burn you up and you die. So, that's it. There's a lot more to the game than I've just explained here, but let's see what Luke and I have to say about it. So that's how you play the game. As always, we're going to look at this in a few different lights and see what we thought of it overall. The first one, Luke, is what did you think of the art and theme?
Art and theme, I'm going to give it an 8 because I love the steampunk desert type theme, and the art is also steampunk, which is pretty awesome.
And what do you think about the fun factor?
Fun factor, I'm gonna give it a 7 1/4.
Ooh, why is that?
Cause it's pretty fun. Not fun enough to get 7 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it deserves more than a 7.
So, 7.5 is a really fun game, though.
Yeah.
Okay. What would a 10 game be, just to remind me?
Like waking up in the middle of the night and like wanting to play that.
Like, I can't sleep, I want to play this game so bad. And like a 9 game would be like, anytime I'd ask you to play, you'd be like, yes, I would play it right now. Like Christmas morning, I could ask you to play, and you'd be like, oh, forget opening presents, I'm going to play this game. Okay, maybe not quite. And at any rate, the next is an 8, and 8's like really, really good.
Yeah.
7s are really good. 6s are when it starts to get to like, I'll play it if somebody wants to play it. 5's like, take it or leave it.
6 is like kind of more, I don't really care for it.
So, what's like a 1?
A 1's like, don't make me play that. Ugh, I can't even say the name of that game.
And a 2 would be like, I can say the name of the game, but I'm not going to play it?
Yeah.
So your scale goes from like really good to like, so like a 6 isn't kind of like, sort of fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, wasting time. Okay, so what did you think of the family factor on this one?
Family factor, I'm gonna have to give it, maybe 7.5 because it's not too heavy, I would say, and not too bad of a theme either.
So when you mean heavy, you mean it's like pretty easy?
What?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna give you my ratings on this one. Luke gave it a pretty generic 8.5 for art, which is awesome. 7.25 for fun, which means it's sort of fun, and a 7.5, which means it's pretty okay for families. I don't know of any games that would be much better for families, honestly.
What?
Like, I don't get how the family rating's only 7.5. I'm gonna kind of fight you on that one. Like, this is like a pretty perfect family game.
Yeah. Can I raise mine a bit?
I guess if I twist your arm right. Well, I just don't get why you're giving it a 7.5 for that.
Yeah, you got a point there. I don't know.
Like, I can't think of any other games that would be much better for a family than this
Yeah,
one.
probably I'm gonna raise it to maybe an 8.5.
Wow, that's a big jump. That's the power of a dad coaxing a kid, right? Okay, my ratings. Art and theme. This is a good game as far as that goes. The art looks really nice in it. The theme works really good with the game mechanic. In Forbidden Island, you have a bunch of island tiles that are sinking into the ocean, and you apparently didn't bring a boat. You only brought a helicopter, so that was kind of goofy. I don't know. It's fine. It's a game. Something's gonna fall apart on it at some point. But I just like this one's kind of the same idea too. Like you're out in the desert and your chopper goes down. So instead of like trying to just survive at the oasis until like your family and friends decide, hey,
Well, there's a sandstorm.
they've been gone for 12 years. Maybe we should go look in the desert for them or their remains.
There's a sandstorm.
So people wouldn't remember that you're out in the desert if there's a sandstorm.
Well, I mean.
Like, oh, there's a sandstorm. It seems like there was something in the desert. What was it? Have you guys seen my husband? My wife? Oh, well, sandstorm.
No, I'm just saying that.
So why couldn't they just hang out in the desert in the tunnels and the structures and stuff?
Yeah, I got a point for the tunnel.
Unless it's like, I don't know, some secret mission maybe, and only you and the helicopter pilot knew. So thematically, like, I'm not going to nitpick. It's a cool theme still. I mean, like, the desert with the sand blowing onto things, and you have to excavate and try and get things recovered. That's kind of cool. So art and theme, I'm going to rate it fairly high. I like the steampunk stuff, too, really a lot. And this is, like, a pretty fun steampunk incorporation into a game. And that you're building this, like, crazy contraption, and it's very cool in that regard. So I'm going to say art and theme, I'm going to give it like a 7.5. Unless I already said something. Well, actually, if I said something else, cancel that. It's 7.5. As far as the fun factor goes, I'm going to give it a sort of generic 7.5. But, like, I'm going to compare it to some other things that Matt Leacock has done. Pandemic, I would give a 7.5 as well. So it's equally as good as Pandemic. Actually, Pandemic might even be a 7.25. And that's even with expansions. So this beats out Pandemic a little bit in my book right now. I know it's kind of new to me. I played Pandemic a bunch of times. But this definitely destroys Forbidden Island. Like, Forbidden Island's not on my shelf. I talked about that earlier. It's because I don't need that game anymore. This game does everything that game does and does it better, more completely, in a more fun way.
Yeah, both of those games were pretty good games. Anyway, thanks for watching useless information that keeps coming up.
No, that wasn't useless. We're discussing games. That's what people didn't.
There was it earlier.
It's not like we were like, hey, tune into this really awesome video of a baby toddler riding a bike over a shark's mouth, and then we talk about games. Like this is like a game review. They know what they're getting.
Or check out this video where a monkey starts eating bananas in front of another monkey's face, and it smacks it in the now we're actually starting to talk about.
Is that a thing? Is that a real
Yeah.
thing? Okay. Anyway.
Baby monkey is though riding on a pig.
Backwards. So anyway, back on track. We're getting too silly here. Fun factor, it's as fun as Pandemic, or maybe even a little more fun than Pandemic. It's way better than Forbidden Island. Actually, pure fun, this is probably better than Pandemic, no question. Overall game, about a tie. Okay, so, man, you are gassy, again.
What?
We gotta stop doing these reviews after you, like, have a belly full of, like, meat and water or something, I don't know.
Or beans.
Beans, I guess, too. Yeah, anyway, we can't be too silly. We have to get this thing done.
Oh, yes.
It's Labor Day. We had a cookout today, so we're doing this after our cookout, which could explain our silliness, too. People are gonna assume that you were drunk when we did this now. They're gonna be
Why?
like, "Oh, that kid was drunk." Not true. We don't drink. We don't drink really ever.
Yeah, it would be illegal for me to too.
Yeah. Luke had to go through rehab. We are being way too silly in this review. Anyway, moving on. Family factor. Fun, 7.5. Family factor, really high, 9. Because this is something that a hardcore gamer in your family, like I am in this family, will play and be like, hey, that's a cool game. I like it. And it's something that the kids will play and think, oh man, we're going on an adventure. This is really cool. And it's something that is cooperative, so like that tends to get the non-gamers in the family, like my wife, a little more interested into the game than others. So I'm gonna give it a 9 for family. I don't, and I mean like I don't know why I'm not giving it higher than a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I can't think of a much better game for families than this.
And like actually, if you watched our Expedite review, it's almost like the next step after that for like softer gamers almost.
Oh, like if you were trying to train someone how to play tougher games. So it's like it's easy, like you would do like the second tier after like Ticket to Ride or something, or party games. Is what you're saying?
More of talking about Expedite, which is like the halfway point.
Yeah. Okay. So Expedite with another plug here. That's a decent game. Pick it up. Anyway, trying to wrap this up now. Overall rating, what do you think?
Overall, I'm just gonna give it an 8.
An 8. So 8.5 art and theme. 7.5 or 7.25 for fun. And what for family again? 8.5. Comes out to an 8 overall, which makes it pretty high. Usually you give 7.5s to like Suburbia and stuff that you really do like. So this is one you really really like. Wow. And what do you like about it so much?
I like that it never really gets old because the sandstorms always pile up and the board's always changing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I also like how it's like a grid.
Sorry. Go ahead and say again.
I also like how it's almost a grid to find the treasures.
Yeah,
so,
that
like,
is cool.
There's one right here and then one over there. And it
Like the intersections.
yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Reminds me of multiplication table.
Yeah, it does.
Welcome again to useless information.
What don't you like about this game?
Something I don't like about it is that I feel like the water runs out a little too fast.
That is a challenge. A big
Yeah,
challenge.
because we kind of had to cheat the first time playing.
Yeah, we had to take a mulligan. We had one step to go and we lost. But because we don't want to lose our first time,
We
cheated.
yeah. I was like, oh, let's say I went to the Oasis, refilled my water bottle, and gave some to you.
Yeah, like we basically rewound one step and said, wait, if you would have noticed that I only had one water left, would you have gone to give me some water? And he says, yeah, I would have. So we cheated. Long story short, we cheated. But we won the first time.
Actually, I think we 100% cheated.
Yeah.
I stumbled on my words there because I was gonna die anyway.
Yeah. So we definitely cheated, but we won. But there's a learning round. Anyway, what I like about the game is that it's got the modular board, so it's different every time you play. I like how slick it is that the sand drops on top of the stuff. The equipment you get in this game is a lot better than in Forbidden Island. Like, it's kind of fun to have the equipment and things you get in this game. And I like the construction of this. Let me finish. And then you can talk again, okay? The construction of the things that you find under the one airship, I really like that part. I'm going to rewind back to things that I like about it, and I'm going to cut all this out. Okay, so things I like about it. I like that it has the modular board, and that it's different every time you play. I like how the sand appears on the boards, and I like the gear. I like you stopped yourself from yawning. Oh no, you didn't. You yawned. I'm gonna start again on my overview. Take 3 on my overview of this. So the things I like about the overall of this game are I like the modular board. I like how it's a little bit different every time you play. I like how the sand comes onto the board. That's kind of neat. How it shifts things around. It's pretty simple. I like the gear. I like how you construct the thing into like you almost have like a little like Lego model or something almost you build in it. And I think that's all really fun. What I don't like about this game is I don't like the modular board's a double-edged sword. So this game takes about half an hour to play. It takes probably 10 minutes to set up because you have to lay all those tiles down. The biggest drawback to this game is this right here. I do not like the metal tin boxes. Like, seriously, you could have... I know you emboss it and it looks beautiful and it's cool and it won't get crushed, but it will get crushed. It'll get bent and you can't stack it very well. And at least it's square, so it's not an awkward shape. Like, you may be able to stick this sideways on my shelf, but I just don't like the metal boxes at all. And I like the price point. It's super cheap for a game that is this rich. But the metal tin is not cool, and I would have paid $2 more for a cardboard box, which would have probably been cheaper to put it in. And I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of people out there hate these tins. And I mean, it is really pretty similar to the other two games that Matt Leacock's done. So I mean, if you're deciding between two games and you're like, I don't know, I have $20 to spend on, you know, You Suck or Forbidden Desert, like, and you're really caught between the two, if you own the other two, you've got really a similar game. I mean, so it's a little bit rinse and repeat for what his games are. But at any rate, it's better than Forbidden Desert for Forbidden Island for sure. At any rate, that's it, and I'm gonna say my overall rating on it. Since this is me considering it being for a family, I'm gonna give it an overall rating of 8.5 because it's something good for the families. And if they would have put it in a cardboard box, it would have gotten 8.5.001 extra. So I guess that's it. So what were you gonna say?
Well, you actually told what I was going to say, but something gave me a thought when you brought up the whole tin box thing. You probably hate Quizboggle or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a Q-shaped tin thing.
Yes, Quiddler. That's a terrible, terrible game as well, like as far as the box. Yeah, this is bonus material. Look right here. This is the worst box ever in the history of... It's like a tin box as well, and it's shaped funny. And, like, the game is, like, a few cards in here. And look, it doesn't even hold the cards in there right. Like, this game could have been the size of a deck of cards. And, like, now I have this huge tin on my shelf. Yes. Forbidden Desert, your box is 100 times better than this one. Anyway, that is it for this review. And as far as if this one's mom approved or not, well, we'll hear that stamp right now.
Otherwise, awkward silence.
Alright. Thanks for watching again. And we were really off topic and goofy this time. But I know from some of you guys, you like the off topic and goofy. Most of you guys don't, and I'm sorry about that. So anyway, talk to you later. And Forbidden Desert. Pretty cheap, pretty easy, pretty fun. Bye-bye.
Wait, if you want to look at us...
If you made it to this far in the video, you are a saint. You're amazing for watching this much of us be like this.
If you are still watching it, you can just go away and scream or whatever you need to do to get this out of your system.
Feel satisfied. And use the promo code on dadsonandagame.com. Use the promo code HIGH5. We don't have a place to put promo codes in, but if you put the promo code HIGH5 in on Dad, Son, and a Game, you'll get a free high five next time you see us in real life.
So, like, maybe in comments.
And by high five, I mean one of these jobs. High five. All right, thanks for watching.
Here, just give us a high five on the
virtual
computer
fives.
screen.
Yeah. There was your free high five for making it through this video.
There, so.
Yeah, I hope you didn't break your screen. But there was your complimentary high five for making it through this video. You know what? As bad as this is, you get a high 10. You can pound it.
Probably will make the computer explode, but who cares?
Yeah, don't punch your screen. Sorry if you broke your computer. Blame popular culture. I'm sorry. Anyway, goodbye. This is the goofiest, longest episode ever. See ya.
You wanna